Open up a dictionary I've likely vandalized, and you'll find the definition of markled. Markled, verb. Informal, pop culture, definition. To experience a notable personal or professional setback following a public or perceived association with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, particularly.
All right, buckle up, because this is one of those wild, tongue-in-cheek pop culture breakdowns that takes on a life of its own. Today's topic, getting mauled. Yes, apparently, that's a thing now, and if you've ever crossed paths, professionally or personally, with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, you might want to check your horoscope, your bank balance, and maybe your marriage license, because according to the internet, being mauled could spell trouble.
In a way that prompts online speculation that the affiliation contributed to the misfortune. Usage? After their company folded months after that Sussex podcast deal, fans joked they'd been markled. Origin? Early 2020s, coined by internet commentators tracking the careers and reputations of individuals once connected to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Of course, I'm here to discuss Jessica Mulroney, Meghan's former BFF, 100% markled, by the way. Now, I want to start off by saying that divorce and separation are horrible, and I'm so sorry for Jessica's children. I will lean into empathy here and ignore the gossip that Jessica was part of the fiasco that allegedly made Princess Catherine cry around Meghan's tacky wedding. If the rumors are true, shame on you, Team Catherine. If they're not true, I will be your loudest defender. Just reach out to me and let me know what the truth is. But back to the being markled of it all. News broke this week that Meghan's ex-best friend, Jessica Mulroney, split from her husband, Ben, after 16 years of marriage. A gorgeous Nepo baby, I might add. It's my understanding that Ben Mulroney is like Canada's Ryan Seacrest. So Meghan's friendship with the pair definitely came with some perks, like relevance. At the height of her friendship with the Mulroneys, Meghan was still calling paparazzi, begging them to catch her outside of her yoga studio. According to Page Six, Jessica is no longer wearing her wedding ring and apparently broke the news of the split to friends when she attended a glitzy wedding in Toronto last month without that hunk of a husband. They're split, a source told Page Six. Jessica seemed sad, but also relieved to have some clarity. Another insider in the know confirmed they separated some time ago. Ben, the son of a former prime minister, so also a stellar political contact for Meghan, hasn't been seen on Jessica's Instagram since March of 2024. Back in the day, Jessica was among the select group aware of Harry and Meghan's secret relationship and Harry's discreet trips to Toronto. She also played a key role in Meghan's life by styling her for the couple's engagement photos at Kensington Palace in November 2017. Their bond was so strong that Mulroney's daughter, Ivy, served as a bridesmaid in the Sussex's wedding in May 2018, while her twin sons, Brian and John, participated as page boys. Things publicly broke down between Meghan and Jessica when a Canadian influencer accused Mulroney of racism back in 2020. Mulroney evoked Meghan Markle in her apology/defense, and things went south from there. For the record, I absolutely don't believe that Jessica is racist. The exchange was tense and unnecessary, and Jessica learned her lesson. I think that she learned a pretty tough lesson in the process. Meanwhile, reports surfaced that Meghan used this as her opportunity to bail after feeling like Jessica was monetizing their friendship. Oh, imagine that.
The term mauled, a new internet verb born out of royal drama, basically means suffering a spectacular career or personal meltdown after associating with Harry and Meghan. The pop culture dictionary version would read something like, to experience a notable personal or professional setback following a public or perceived association with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It's the kind of phrase that could only come from the digital peanut gallery that's been chronicling the Sussexes' every move since 2020.
The woman who hates royalty, who insists on calling herself the Duchess of Sussex and has crest-like logos all over the loose fruit spread she's selling while she's pushing her proximity to the British royal family. I mean, if somebody knows about monetizing a relationship, it's Meghan Markle. It's my understanding, though, that Meghan was almost resentful of Jessica, because her star began to rise after the royal wedding. Despite Jessica already being so well connected, thanks to her husband and his family, that had previously opened multiple doors for Meghan Markle, she became jealous, is what I understand. Or what does Maureen Callahan always say? Maureen Callahan always says, like, it's my opinion. Or she says something cute. A source told Page Six Jessica was upset that she couldn't get a job after Meghan dumped her. She's become a toxic socialite. However, others shared real sympathy for the stylist and revealed at one point that she was on intense antidepressants and her husband had to quit his job to support her. Ben told a friend at the time, I would wake up and Jess wouldn't be in bed and my mind would go to the worst place. But the Daily Mail points out that these two are clearly not friends anymore. It's Jessica's face on the phone when Meghan is conveniently recording her own engagement, or should I say second engagement. But Jessica is nowhere to be seen elsewhere in the Harry and Meghan Netflix docuseries. Jessica and Ben were so instrumental in the early stages of Harry and Meghan's secret relationship, yet there's no mention of them in Spare. Jessica hasn't appeared on any of Meghan's podcasts or during the Loose Fruit Spread infomercial, now known as With Love Meghan. All signs point to Splitsville. Verdict? Markled. Meanwhile, back in August of 2024, Meghan and Jessica's mutual friend, Sophie Trudeau, announced her separation from then Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau after 18 years of marriage. The two said in a statement posted on Instagram at the time that they made the decision after many meaningful and difficult conversations. Sophie actually appeared on a cringeworthy episode of Meghan's Spotify podcast, Archetypes, titled Good Wife, Bad Wife, Good Mom, Bad Mom, before it was canceled, obviously. But things have seemed to have cooled down between the poolside besties in the years since. While Meghan once boasted about her close bond with Sophie, referring to her as a dear friend, whom she absolutely adores. In August of last year, Sophie gave an awkward 3-word response about their friendship. I know her, Sophie simply told the Times of London. It's like the opposite of the cold Mariah Carey. I don't know her. I know her. Oh, girl, I know her. According to Page Six, she did not gush back about the mom of two and mentioned that the pair haven't spent much time together. Markled. A new addition to the club is late night talk show host and sometime comedian Stephen Colbert. I will never forgive Stephen for his behavior towards Catherine, Princess of Wales, in the weeks leading up to her cancer announcement. He made cruel jokes at her and her family's expense and family friends' expense while gleefully hosting Prince Harry on his show. Mess with Kate, meet your fate. Last month, it was announced that The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is being canceled by CBS, and no, it has nothing to do with President Donald Trump. This is what we like to call Markled. It seems like everyone that has sided with Harry and Meghan have failed spectacularly or had drama come their way. Shout out to Lily's godfather, media mogul Tyler Perry, recently accused of sexual assault. Earlier this year, actor Derek Dixon filed a $260 million lawsuit against Perry in Los Angeles, accusing him of sexually assaulting him during his time working on the TV series The Oval and Ruthless. He further alleges that Perry promised him career success, but responded with increased harassment, assault, and retaliation after Dixon rejected what he described as unwelcome advances. The lawsuit cites several incidents where Perry allegedly sexually assaulted Dixon. The actor accused Perry of interrogating him over his sexual interests in a trailer on the set of The Oval before pinning him to a wall and fondling him. Dixon said he refused the advances and left the trailer. Perry's attorney has strongly denied the claims, dismissing the lawsuit as a money-driven scam. But this isn't the first time Perry has been accused of bad behavior. Back in December of 2023, actor Christian Keyes made allegations of sexual harassment by an unnamed Black Hollywood billionaire during an Instagram live session. Many speculate he was referring to Perry, given their history of collaborating. What about Sussex bestie James Corden?
Whether it's a friendship gone sour, a career tanking, or a PR scandal exploding, if it happens after hanging around Harry and Meghan, fans are calling it being mauled. Whether you love Meghan and Harry or think they've single-handedly redefined self-inflicted PR disasters, the maul phenomenon has become part of pop culture folklore. It's not about believing in curses. It's about patterns, perception, and public fallout.
Gordon attended Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding in 2018, remember? Since Harry relocated to the States, Gordon and Harry filmed a segment on his Late Late Show where they explored Los Angeles. Harry peed in a stranger's home, and they FaceTimed with Meghan Markle. Off camera, Gordon and his family had a lovely hangout with the couple at their Montecito home, as reported by E! Online. James Corden began hosting the Late Late Show in 2015 and quickly rose to become one of television's most beloved late-night personalities. However, by the time he stepped away in 2023, public sentiment had noticeably shifted, with his popularity appearing to decline significantly. He was even banned from a restaurant in New York. Markled. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. Despite Orlando Bloom playing a painfully annoying Harry in a short-lived HBO series, Prince Harry claimed Orlando had his back and frequently called him to warn him about lurking photographers in the neighborhood. And despite Katy being critical of Meghan's wedding dress to Entertainment Tonight, Meghan and Harry jumped on a private jet to Vegas to watch astronaut Katy sing to a giant turd in a toilet bowl. I'm not kidding. Google the pictures. Katy and Orlando were spotted at Ellen's house, along with Harry and Meghan. Then Katy played the Invictus Games, and I would love to tell you that everyone lived happily ever after, but Ellen's fled the country. We'll get to that in a second. And Katy and Orlando have since split. Katy was crucified for going into space, and her last album was a mega flop. Markled, up one side and down the other. Markled. Harry and Meghan loved name-dropping Ellen DeGeneres. That was until her bullying allegations exploded around the same time Meghan Markle's did. Considered one of the worst-kept secrets in Hollywood, multiple staff members spoke out against the comedian and talk show host. And her show was canceled shortly after this explosive expose where everybody was calling out the toxic behavior on her set. She was apparently so overwhelmed by the revelations that she packed up and moved to the UK, somewhere Meghan will likely not step foot in anytime again. But recently I've heard that Ellen is so bored with her chickens and she's desperate to get back into show business. So what would I say to Ellen DeGeneres? Well, girl, you've been markled. You've been markled. Keeping up with the TV talk show host theme, there's no denying that Oprah Winfrey's popularity has taken a major nosedive since her sit down with the Sussexes for CBS. There's her friendships with Harvey Weinstein and Diddy, the fact that she lied about her weight loss journey while repping Weight Watchers, and more seriously, the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa. That scandal is horrific. Watch Maureen Callahan's video on it. But you can't ignore the change in public perception towards Oprah after her Sussex sit-down. Oprah was markled. I know this list is not complete. It is your guidance that I seek. Who's missing? Who's been markled? I heard her Paramount friend is losing his job in the big merger, so there's that. So let me know in the comments below, who did I accidentally leave off this list? And don't say Victoria Beckham. She's not been markled. She's actually thriving right now. David Beckham's thriving. And you know what's so funny about James Corden, and I forgot to mention this? He was recently seen with Queen Camilla. So, like, he's done with them. He wants to be with the working royals. He wants to be back with the A-team. But I'm talking about people that their jobs, professionally and personally, privately, have seemed to fall apart after they take a stand.
From Jessica Mulroney's broken marriage to Ellen's cancelled show, Oprah's damaged credibility, and even Stephen Colbert's Act's late-night gig, the trail of chaos behind the Sussexes is long and messy. And as one commentator put it, mess with Kate, meet your fate. Befriend Meghan, and you might get mauled. So, who's next? That's $1 million question. If history's any guide, anyone stepping into Meghan and Harry's PR orbit might want to carry a four-leaf clover and maybe a career backup plan. Because in 2025, the most dangerous thing in Hollywood isn't a scandal, it's being mauled.